Hey everyone, welcome back again. Another end of day price action analysis. Today is Wednesday, the 1st of March. Right, let's jump into this price action. We're on a daily here on EURUSD, EU. As you can see, we had this massive bullish candle. It's closing out in 1 hour and 5 minutes. And yeah, big bullish day. Just showing you, we've reacted well off of this daily ob, right? It is looking like we're going to get some continued bullish pressure from here. There's an ob here, which, there's a fair value gap and an ob here for us to keep an eye on. But at the moment, it looks bullish, at least until this point. We'll drop down to the 4 hour. So, as I mentioned, could be a scenario within my previous videos. We've got all of this buy side liquidity build up here, right? I mentioned how correctively we were coming down, and that at this point, when we met this 4 hour POI, there's the possibility if we do turn bullish, close above a recent high on the 1 hour, we could possibly go even deeper into the 4 hour premium or beyond, right? Because this is all buy side liquidity, and there's nothing stopping the market from going that way. So once we took this previous weekly low, we've had great bullish price action since, creating new legs, especially on the hourly, of higher highs and higher lows. It is looking like, I'll drop down to the hourly, it is looking like we are gunning for this previous weekly high at least, right? All of this seems mitigated. This was the only POI we had that was obvious to see on the hourly, right? This hourly up here, which it came into just yesterday, spiked into it, came down to our other 1 hour ob that we had. I also had one around here, but it blew through that and came down to this one. And that's where we saw new higher highs made, right? Big, massive move today. How many pips is that? 125 pips today in a massive move. So no trades for me today, nothing that allowed me to get in for the way I trade, but we can see how this price is coming for all of these highs, all this buy side liquidity build up, could go beyond. And if we go back up to the 4 hour, back up into this daily imbalance here and order block, right? That would probably be the next most high resistance point I could see, right? If it makes it that way, this is where we may expect some sort of bearish result from there. I'll go back down to the hourly. Right, so what have we got here? So this is now blown through, mitigated. I will remove this for now just so we can see the price action clearly. I wasn't expecting all of this today. I wasn't expecting to get this close to taking all of this buy side liquidity, but once it turns into that mode, it just goes for it, as you can see. Right, so once we took out the previous daily high, I was expecting some sort of stall around here, right? Maybe give us a good pullback into a discount to get involved in the longs, but it didn't, right? It had gone up. Even once it took this high out, I thought, okay, we'll get our retracement here to get a decent trade in, but we didn't get that. Go to the 15-minute just to show the intraday a bit better. We got all of this move during Asia and London, right? So we're not too shocked that New York kind of just looks like this. After all of these pips were done, you don't expect too much from New York. It'd have probably been asking for too much. There was some USD news today, but it didn't do much damage in the big picture of things. We are now very much in a premium of this leg. It would be suitable for price to come down, but with the way it's going, I'm not sure. So for me, yes, it does look bullish. It's even still creating bullish price action now, so late in the day. So I'm waiting to see what structure it can give us overnight. POIs down here, maybe. I'm not sure if it will come down this far. We've got an imbalance here. I'll probably keep an eye on, because this seems a bit more suitable. So I've got a 1 hour imbalance here. For 1 hour imbalance here, I'll keep an eye on, because it's just enough into the discount. And if it comes back here, especially correctively, if we see a nice corrective legs like this build up here, it will look like a great place to get long and to gun for what will be probably the previous daily high here and the previous weekly high. So let's move on to DXY just to get a picture as well. DXY will go to the daily as well. You see here DXY is forming the same way. Previous daily high taken, big bearish day taking out the previous daily low, making its way towards the previous weekly low. Just the opposite of EU. Now we've got this big 4 hour leg with all of this liquidity here that I mentioned. We're now in the discount of it, just like we're in the premium on EU. We've got a 1 hour leg here. We've reacted out of this 4 hour imbalance, which if we drop down, I believe, yes, so I put in a 1 hour hob POI. We've reacted off of that nicely, just like we did on EU. And this is the liquidity I pointed out and mentioned that we could come for. I mean, there's even more clearly, but just the immediate goals, you can see there was relative equal lows here with this low that price would have been drawn to, smashed through it, and now it just seems like we're making lower lows, lower highs, which would make this weak lows, and we'll get the impression that the DXY is also going to continue lower and make its way to its previous weekly low. So we can draw out the same here. There's an imbalance here, but it's already been mitigated, so I probably won't pay attention to that anymore. There is one here, unmitigated, with an order block above. I'll have this here. It most likely lines up with EU, and if it doesn't, then you know how I use DXY. I use it as a confluence, right? If EU were to come into its 1 hour imbalance, right, I wouldn't use it because I'm not necessarily trading on the 1 hour. But if it's already in the 1 hour imbalance and it's not quite in the 1 hour imbalance on DXY, it may have more room to pull back, so you wait for some more confirmations, etc., right? So yeah, that's my outlook on the price action today. Go back to EU just to round it up. It's going to look like, even if it reverses here, right, this becomes a weak high scenario. This for me is probably the target of the week. I'm going to be looking for longs. I think it's done enough right now to look for longs, right, for the rest of the week and foreseeable until I see a good higher time frame POI or structure break. So for now, it does look like we are continuing this, bullish trend that continued in late 2022. It's not over yet. That's not a prediction or anything, but we have this high probability area here. If we make it through this area, obviously I'm going to expect, once such major liquidity is taken up here, we're going to get some pullbacks. Yes, we can go for shorts once the highs are taken. They're going to be pullbacks, in my opinion, against the market, but that's what I'll be looking for. I'll be looking for highs until I'll be looking for longs until the previous weekly highs met, and then we may get some shorts in between once previous daily high is taken or previous weekly high is taken. There'll probably be short-term moves though, right? So like once the previous daily high is taken, how many pips is it? Yeah, come on, it's like just over 10 pips till we take the previous weekly high. If we go for this, we're going to go for this most likely, right? That's going to be best sources of liquidity. Then we can be looking for shorts if you really want to play those reversals. So that's all my thoughts on and my analysis today going into tomorrow. That's what I'm going to be prepared for. I'm going to concentrate hard on EU, and Thanks for joining me again, and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed. See you again tomorrow.